Hey, let me tell you about the Anchor app we use to make this podcast. It makes putting together a podcast so easy and way less stressful than we ever thought it would be. Let's start with the fact that it's free, not like here's a 7-day free trial. No, it's free, which is great for when you're balling on a budget. Anchor has creation tools that let you record and edit from your phone or your computer, whichever you choose. Oh, and Anchor will publish your podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and so many others. Did I mention that you can make money from your podcast using Anchor with minimal listenership? It's honestly everything you need for a podcast in one easy place. So download the free app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Welcome to episode 9 of our podcast. Excuse me, Karen, where we dig through years of repressed memories for your enjoyment. Lauren, did we tell our listeners that we made a Facebook page?
No, we didn't, but you should.
Oh my God, we made a Facebook page, and feel free to follow us. We post pretty much what we post on Instagram and we share it on there, but we want you guys to interact with us. Like, send us memes, send us comments, send us anything on there.
Please.
Yeah, feel free to post whatever you want. Like, honestly, but we're going to do like little challenges. We want you guys to send us memes for, like, we'll say this week, send us an office meme. Let us know that you listen to the podcast and send us your favorite meme about the office.
Yes. We love The Office, you guys.
I was actually forced to watch The Office because I refused to. And I watched it and was like, I get the hype. And now I've seen it like 37 times.
What is wrong with you? How did you not like it?
I am a wannabe hipster.
Okay.
If other people don't like it, I don't want to like it.
That's fair.
But I loved it. So please send us a meme from The Office.
Please.
Yeah. So we know that you listen to the podcast and we'll interact with you. We love interacting with you. So please.
We really do.
If you're not already following us, our podcast, our Facebook page for the podcast is, of course, Excuse Me, Karen podcast. So like our page and send us some memes, guys.
We would love that.
Brighten our day like we brighten yours.
Exactly.
Lauren.
Yes.
Don't you have a shout out?
I do. So I want to shout out Amy D, who is one of our most consistent and one of the best listeners that we have so far. And she has an Etsy store, and it's super cute stuff. So
I went through and looked at all of her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I wish I was not a broke bitch because she has like seasonal, like she has like aprons and like kitchen towels,
like baby stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. She has like all this stuff and it is so cute. She has this freaking kitchen towel for Christmas that says there's some hoes in this house and it has Santa on it and I need it. She has a fucking apron that says fuckity fuck. If that is not me in apron form, I don't know what is.
Yeah, it's all super cute and she makes it herself. So the name of her store on Etsy is Stitch and Giggles US. So we hope that you guys check it out because she's the best and her stuff is pretty cool.
And she's also not sponsoring this. She has no idea we're doing this, but
yeah. So shout out to Amy.
Yes, shout out. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
It's time for the bitching corner.
Mm-mm.
What you got to bitch about today, Lauren?
So I'm bringing to the bitching corner this week getting back into working out because I know, because my muscles hurt so fucking bad because I have not worked out like this whole pandemic pretty much. So I'm really out of shape and I want to be a hot little mama this summer, but like without birthing a child, you know? So I've been doing so much cardio on the bike and elliptical and I just fucking hate my life.
Mm.
And I wish I was one of those people who just loved working out and like the pressure and like thrill of working out, but I'm not. So it's gonna be a rough ride, you guys.
I 10,000% feel that.
What do you bring into the bitchin' corner, Lacie?
Spring cleaning.
Ooh, yes.
I I am not a like let's deep clean shit. I'm just like I hate cleaning, but like I'm starting to feel claustrophobic. So I'm spring cleaning and I'm going room from room and I'm like, do I want to Marie Kondo this shit? Like, does this bring me joy?
You do want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, but like I have so much stuff that I don't need or like clothes that I don't wear anymore. So I'm trying to like go through it and like donate stuff and give stuff to other people because there's like other people can use it.
Right.
I'm not using it, so let other people use it. Someone suggested that I should sell my books or give them away, and I was like,
How dare they ever
how?
say that?
Yeah, I was like, excuse the fuck out of you. I just bought 2 more bookshelves. Like,
Fucking rude.
I hoard books. My whole plan is to buy a house and make like the living room a whole ass library. Like,
I also have that dream, but not the living room.
the living room's the biggest room in the house.
I know, but like I want like a sweet office. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm gonna have an office too with like my favorite books, but like all the other books are gonna be like on display.
That's fair. That's a good goal. I like that goal.
Yeah, and right now I have 2 bookshelves up in my room and they are jam packed with books. And then I have like 12 stacks of books because I'm not going to say I have a problem because it's not a problem. I enjoy reading and I will reread a book.
Right.
I have books on my shelves that I've reread multiple times.
So what she's saying is recommend books for her to read.
Yeah. Oh my God. Please.
And me.
Oh, yes. Recommend us books. Send them to us on Facebook. Send them.
Or Instagram.
Yes. Or
Either
Instagram.
one.
But, yes, we both love to read and we both love music.
Heavy.
So,
But yeah, I feel the spring cleaning thing. I have to do it soon and I just get really overwhelmed.
yes, I feel like I have been working out because these thighs hurt from squatting and
It's all muscle, baby.
yeah, just like picking stuff up. I'm just like I pick things up and put them down and like everything hurts.
Ooh,
I'm
it's like
over
a caveman.
it. I'm over it. I don't want to say I'm ready for summer. Like I love summer, but like bitch it's hot and I'm fat and nobody wants to see like a fat bitch in shorts.
You never know. Some people might.
Tell them to hit me up though. Like for real.
So y'all, if you want to see that, hit her up.
Okay, but for real, don't go in my DMs. So I have a mini Karen tale today.
Okay.
Like it's not that long. It just happened like the other day.
Even
So
better.
yeah, a recent one.
Okay.
And I'm super salty about it.
Well, let's hear it.
So I haven't left the house in a while and my mom had been using my car because it's better on gas than hers. So she uses my car and leaves it on empty, so I have to pay for the gas myself.
Amazing.
I know, such a great mom, love her. um So I go to the same gas station every time because they have like a rewards thing, and I like my rewards. I get like 15 to like 50 cents off a gallon. It's great.
Bet I do that too.
Thank you. Okay, I'm not the only one.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even care. I don't look at gas prices. I just pull in.
Yep.
I'm like, I'm going here.
And type in my number.
Mm-hmm. So I go to pull into the spot that I always go to, which is right by the door, so I don't have to walk forever.
Mm.
And it was really cold this day up by me. So I was like, I just want to like hurry up, run in, run out, whatever. So I go to pull up and the gas tank or the gas pump thing is out of order. It has like a sign on it says out of order, do not use. And there's a bag over the handle like you're supposed to do. I used to work at this gas station.
Mm.
They like it's a thing that you do. You have to put it on the thing so somebody doesn't start pumping it, puts all this money into it and doesn't get any gas.
Right.
So I go to pull up, or I'm pulling in and I see that it's not working. And so I just stay back at the one behind it. And some lady like comes up behind me, lays on her horn, and is like, go. I shut my car off and like put my mask on and get out.
Mm.
And she's getting mad and she's like throwing up her hands. And I'm just like,
What?
excuse you. Excuse you. So I go and I start pumping my gas. She pulls all like a bunch of the other pumps were open on the other side, and I think only like 2 of the gas pumps were taken. So she chose the one on like the flip side of mine, so like we're on the same machine.
Yeah.
And she pulls into that one and she's like, "You fucking bitch!" And I'm like,
What?
"Yeah." I'm like, I'm excuse me. And she's like, "Why the fuck didn't you pull up all the way?" And I'm like, "It's out of order. There's a bag on it.
What the fuck?
You should have still pulled up. I don't understand why you didn't pull all the way up. It doesn't work."
Right.
Like, what? And she's just like slamming like her doors and like her gas cap off the thing. And I'm like, I hope you rip it off, you fucking cunt.
For real.
So she's still sitting there bitching. She's like, "You were so inconsiderate of your fellow man." And I'm like,
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, what? Like, what? What? So she's like, "You should have pulled over." And I'm like, "There is a sign and a bag over the handle." And she's like, "You should have pulled forward." And I'm like, "It doesn't work." So she's like, "You're so inconsiderate." And I'm like, "Listen, I don't know." Or she's like, "You're so inconsiderate to your fellow man." And I was like, "Listen, I don't know your pronouns, but pulling forward would have done nothing
Because it's broke.
since the pump doesn't work. I need gas too. You're not the only one." So yeah, I didn't pull up. I'm getting gas in my car. And she's like, "You're such a dumb bitch." And I'm like,
Ew.
I'm like, do you know what this is?" I was like, "What? Do you, what's a bitch?
Right.
I've never been called this before. Do I get a prize?" And she's just like going off and she's like just yelling, and there's other people there, and this guy had pulled in right before us, and he's on the one diagonal from us, and he's just like, "Lady, shut the fuck up."
Oh my god.
And I'm like, oh shit. And she's like, "Excuse me?" And he's like, "It doesn't work. You're not the only one who needs gas."
Right. Like,
And
who
she's
does
like,
she think she is?
yeah. And he's like, or she's like, "You can't talk to me like that. I'm a lady." And he goes, "I don't want to assume your pronouns," because she kept saying fellow man.
Yeah. Who
And
says it
so
like that?
I don't fucking know.
Like, we're not in the
I
fucking
do not know.
Renaissance age.
Yes. I'm like, oh, dumb bitch. So she's like huffing. I finish pumping my gas, go in and pay, get my nice discount. And I get my nice discount. And I come back out and she is still pumping her gas and she is still livid. The guy winks at me and waves. And I'm like, oh,
Aww.
thank you. He was like an older, like, I'm not going to say older man because he was like my dad's age.
Yeah. Mid.
So yeah, like
Midlife.
50 something in the 50s.
Yeah.
So I go to get in my car and I'm like, have a good day. I hope you choke. And I pull away and she's just, fuck you, you dumb bitch, blah, blah, blah. And I just
Oh
like
my
smile
God.
and wave and drove away and went and got myself Panera Bread because I felt like I deserved it.
Oh, yeah. Fuck that lady. What the hell?
The biggest cunt of my life.
It sounds like
I
it, but at least that dude had your back, so that's pretty awesome of him.
I love when people have my back and I love what like because I did nothing wrong.
Right.
Because I didn't pull up to a broken pump.
She's just a
I'm sorry
dumbass.
I saw it and you didn't and you like now you feel stupid because you didn't see it and you already started yelling at somebody so you need to continue.
Right. Bye, Karen.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, I could not. I could not. And I think immediately after it happened I called my friend. I was like, "Bitch, I just had a Karen sighting in the wild."
I think it was me. And you were like, I'm not gonna tell you though, because I want it to be an episode.
Oh yeah, no. I was like, it's gonna be my next episode. It was I called you, but then I called my friend Jessica and I told her about it. Jessica who listens to the podcast, so she's great.
Ooh.
I called her and told her about it and was like, this just fucking happened and I am livid.
I would be too. Fuck that.
I was I'm like I'm just I was sick too and I thought I was like dying, okay?
Yeah,
Um
that's true.
it was it was not the Rona BT dubs people.
Yeah, just so we're
I
clear.
um
It's just the
but
normal flu.
yes, went to the doctor and everything, got tests.
Mm-hmm.
But I needed gas and I needed soup because I was sick.
Yeah.
But like, oh, I was already in a bad mood because I'm sick and I don't feel good and I just want to be left alone. And then some fucking bitch starts just yelling at me and I'm like, leave me
For
alone.
no reason.
Yeah, because somebody else broke the pump. It's my fault.
Right.
Oh, but yeah, that's my Karen tale.
Well, I'm sorry you encountered a wild Karen.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm traumatized.
Honestly, I would be too.
It made for a great story though, but it's a mini story. I could
And
have milked that shit with her,
you could have. I definitely would have, but
but I was sick and I was like, I want to go home to my blanket and my bed, but I needed cheddar broccoli soup.
ooh, they do have the best cheddar broccoli.
If anybody needs cheddar broccoli Panera dupe, let me know because I have it and I make it tastes just like ugh.
Bitch, can you send it to me, please? Because what the fuck?
I can. I make it all the fucking time. I made it for a potluck at work and I went home with none left. I have like a big ass like the biggest crock pot.
Mm.
And I used like 2 pounds of cheese in like I made so much and I went home with none. My crock pot was empty.
Wow, I'm
I know.
impressed. Definitely send that
Me
my
too.
way.
I will. Well, that was my mini Karen tale. What do you got this week, Lauren?
So for this week's tale, mine is pretty long. It took place over like a span of like at least 10 years.
Ooh. Oh, so it's like
Yes.
mine from last week.
Yes, and it is a neighbor rival, so it's pretty much like yours, but
Oh, did I swear you said you were going to tell the story on the last
yes.
episode too?
Yes. And
Oh.
also, if you guys recalled, the cop from your story last week, me and Lacie called each other after and we came to the conclusion that it was the same cop that we were
Yeah.
both dealing with. So the
Yes.
same crooked cop that I'm gonna talk about in my story this week was the crooked cop in Lacey's story last week.
Yes.
Okay.
Tell me.
All right, so a feud between my house, the neighbors across the street from us, who is my mom's BFF, and the drug house next door to my house. And I grew up in this house, and my mom's best friend across the street, they grew up in, like we had been established for a very long time in these houses on the block. And so the house next door goes up for sale, blah blah blah. These people move in and everything's like chill for like literally a week. And it was like a father and like a single father and a son. I don't know the background or anything. But they were doing a bunch of shady shit all day and all night. And I was really young, my brothers were really young, and
Mm-hmm.
it started a huge fucking war, like Karen versus Kyle war. So I'm gonna start. My mom and my mom's best friend are the biggest Karens in this tale, but also the drug house neighbors were the hugest Chad and Kyles I've ever met.
Mm.
Right?
I remember these neighbors.
Yes.
Like we weren't allowed to go outside and like play or do anything like if they were
Mm-hmm.
outside.
Yep, because they were fucking weird.
Yeah. And
And
Lauren had a pool at her house
yeah,
and we weren't allowed to go out there.
unless like my brothers came with us or like we had like guy friend, like a lot, like a group, but still it didn't really work out well. But also, quick like side note, me and my some of my brothers, we joke about the block that we grew up on that I'm talking about is like the equivalent to the Trailer Park Boys park, Sunnyvale, because it's so chaotic and like psychotic. Just want to do a little side note. And if you don't know who the Trailer Park Boys is, go educate yourself after this episode.
I will.
You have to.
I mean, I know Bubbles.
Aw, that's a good start. It's just really funny and like it's like a mockumentary and it's just really funny and trashy, but like not trashy, and I just love it.
I think I watched like the first episode.
It's a start. It's
I
a start.
It was like 4 years ago and I gave up because I was like, oh, this feels like a knockoff to Clerks.
I mean, very similar, but I don't know. You'll just I can't even explain Trailer Park Boys to you. It's just there's so much.
I'll watch it eventually.
All right. Well, I'm gonna begin with the fact that the house next door to me, so they were dealing drugs, and my room was the closest to their house in the backyard, and my room was on this, like all our bedrooms were on this second floor. So my windows were always a hot spot for spying and trying to listen to what they're saying, and it'd be like in the middle of the night, like my mom would run in my room and be like, oh my God, like get up, what are they saying? And like it was just chaos all the time. And but the first like real incident was like they tried to sell like weed and like pills to my oldest brother and his friends, and they were having like
What?
a little like bonfire, yeah. And so that just like really pissed my mom off naturally. And I guess they were doing like the same thing too, because we had a lot of kids on our street and like
Yeah.
like a lot of kids and then like high schoolers. And I guess they did the same thing to like the other like high schoolers and stuff that were on the block, and it just like pissed everybody off.
Yeah, and isn't your one brother older than us?
Yeah.
Like I don't know how old he is.
He's like, I mean, he's like a good like 11 or 12 years older than me. So he was like in high school and I was in like elementary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But so they were just, making it a block. And so this is how the back and forth battle started. And they would get raided regularly. And by regularly, I mean like every other week. Or yeah, like every like 2 weeks. There we go. Every 2 weeks. It felt like that way anyway. And each raid was like a family like event. Like my mom would like yell and wake us up or like start making a bunch of noise so that we woke up, and she would call her BFF across the street, and they'd be watching from their front door or like their garage, and we'd all be like in my room at the windows like. And my parents' room had one window that faced their house, but like just the house. And my windows had the house and the backyard and the garage and everything. So it was like my room was the, party room.
The hot spot.
Right. And I specifically remember one of the raids, they like finished searching like the house, and so they like did like the walk around the house, the outside of the house, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so they start like making their way towards the garage, which by the way they built after they moved in, and it was bigger than the actual house, which was weird.
I don't understand that, but okay. It's where they grew their weed.
Pretty much. I mean, I'm guessing, I don't really know, but like that's my guess. And anyway, so like they're going like through the outskirts of the house and stuff, and they start making their way to the garage. And my mom like opened up my window more and literally started yelling, "Check the rafters! It's in the rafters!" Like, yeah, she was a fucking narc towards them hard, but they did, like, it was in the rafters, and they did get caught with it. But then nothing happened to them. Like, they didn't get a ticket, they didn't go, like, nothing, they didn't even get like taken down, like nothing.
What?
Yeah, so like that's what I'm saying, crooked cop.
So much for the war on drugs.
I know, right?
Ugh.
So not only did they sell drugs out of the house, kind of like what I said earlier, a lot of the older kids got hooked on drugs and like the pills that they were selling. So it was just like a constant war between my house, the house across the street, and like a few other of the houses that had the high school kids in, because everyone was just like pissed off because their kids were high all the time. And so my mom also doesn't like motorcycles, which they had.
Okay.
So they would rev them all night long, and like sometimes even from like dusk till dawn, like, and it just pissed everyone off on the street, like, and it's not like both my parents worked, they had full-time jobs, like, we weren't like, I don't want to say like privileged or whatever and be like, oh yeah, I had like a stay-at-home mom, but no, like both my parents worked like hella hours, and so did everybody else on the block, and it was like it kept everyone up all the time. And like even sometimes we'd have to go stay at like my nana and papa's house because they would go all night long,
And
just like revving their motorcycles because they knew it pissed off my mom and her BFF across the street.
okay, but there's so many kids on that street.
I know, so that's what I'm saying. It just like pissed everybody off. Like real Chad behavior.
Okay, well, right now I'm I'm already privy to a lot of this because like I've known you forever, but like so I know these people were such assholes. So like in your mom and her BFF Jill's defense, um yeah, no, it's totally warranted them being Karens because it's not like they just like, oh, these people they suck, so we're gonna be dicks. No, they
Right.
came to this semi nice neighborhood with an elementary school
Down the
feet
street.
away.
Right.
Yeah. Like there's literally you can like see the elementary school from your backyard. We used to
Hmm.
go play at that school.
Right.
So like having drugs there and having revving your motorcycles from dusk till dawn. Like there's little kids on this
Right.
street. They need to sleep. And there's elderly people on this
I
street.
know. And they're just so like rude and inconsiderate. So it just like pissed my mom. It just like it literally I cannot express how much of a war this was between my mom and Jill. We're gonna call her Jill now.
Yeah.
And the drug house next to me.
I'm just saying, and this won't happen often. I'm on the side of the Karen so far.
Right?
Mm.
But so okay, so like they started doing like even more like shady stuff and like shitty stuff. So my mom and Jill started keeping in notebooks because like back in the day, you couldn't just like record everything on your phone. But like literally, we still have them because I just think it's so funny. Like stacks and stacks of notebooks of everything they did, like descriptions of everybody that came to the house, like what time, what day, what like details, everything. It's insane.
That's a little
Right.
overboard, but go for
But
it.
also on my mom's defense, they were going to court a lot, so she did need um that's what they told her to do.
Oh, okay.
Like
So,
one of the detectives told her to keep a like journal of like what's going on because they can't just like watch the house 24/7 or whatever. So then she
right.
had Jill try and do the same thing. So they did. And so the dad, he would like one of the things that like really pissed my mom off. It was like the smallest thing that he did that pissed my mom off. He would he would park like in their driveway, but it was so close to the edge that like part of his tire would be on our grass and it would hit this really expensive tree that my mom saved up for and planted like on that side of the like front yard. So it was like close to them, and it like ruined like half of the tree. And like my mom, she's
Oh,
a plant lady.
yeah, she is.
So this like put her over the fucking edge. So she would start shit with them because they kept doing this and it just kept ruining her tree and stuff. And they knew exactly how to push her over the edge, but vice versa. Like my mom knew exactly what to do and say, and so did Jill, to just like get them fuming.
I I remember not being allowed to park in your driveway.
Mm-hmm.
Because one time I ran over the grass a little bit.
My mom does not play, dude.
Yeah, I was not allowed to pull in the driveway anymore, so I had to pull in the street.
Mm-hmm.
I was only allowed to park in the street. I wasn't allowed to park in the driveway. So I
Yeah,
only ever parked in the driveway when her parents weren't home.
yeah. Like my mom did not play about the lawn or the garden. Like for real, for real.
Definitely my neighbor from my old house.
But like not as bad, I guess.
I mean, true. Like I didn't I only came over with my car every so often.
Yeah,
Um and it was to like pick you up or something.
yeah.
Um but when
And you probably just like caught her on a bad week.
she's probably dealing with the people next door, they probably
Right.
just like hit her tree or something.
Right. She's like, there's somebody else on my fucking lawn. Like,
Yeah, like I distinctly remember going home and my sister, like we would always call and let you know, like when we got home, my sister calls you and you're like, my mom said that Lacie can't park in the driveway anymore. She has to park in the street. I'm like, why? And you're like, because you ran over the grass. And I was like, barely. I just
ew.
took a wide turn into the driveway.
Dude, it happened to me too when I got a car. Like, I was barely allowed to park in the driveway.
Oh,
But, um, So, like you said earlier, we had a pool. So I was super young when we got the pool. And as I got older into like my teenage years, my developing years,
She got the boobies.
and my butt got bigger.
I mean, your nickname isn't Thumper for nothing.
I get it. But they would sit on they had like a medium sized like second story balcony, and they would watch me through the door wall, or they would like come out on the balcony and like watch me like swim or like float. And it was really weird and creepy. So I like told my dad, and my dad was like, fuck that. And then he told my mom, and so we were never allowed in the pool pretty much, like unless my brothers came with us, or like we had like a big group of like people, but it had to be like mainly guys, and it was just like it sucked. It was horrible.
Yeah. Or if they weren't home, like if those people weren't home, we could go
Yeah,
swimming.
if they weren't home, we could go swimming. Like
But the moment they pulled in the driveway, like
we
I
had to
remember,
get out.
yeah, I remember one time your mom like came to the door and was like, inside.
Yep.
I was
No.
like, we're like, but mom,
Like
we
we've only
just
been
got
20
in.
minutes.
Yeah. And she's like,
Right.
I don't care. Inside.
Yep.
It's hot, dude.
I know.
Inside.
And like so after they started noticing that like I wasn't going swimming as much, they started to like throw shit in our pool. And it was like and it wasn't just like dirt. I mean, like it was dirt, but it was like nails, screws, rust pieces, like in our pool. And so like one day it was like me and my brothers, and we jumped in the pool, and like I got stabbed in the arm with one of the nails, and like it wasn't a big deal or anything, like nothing, like I wasn't hurt or anything, and like it wasn't like a gross dirty nail or anything.
Bitch, you could have got tetanus.
I know, like I went to the doctor and everything still, but so I was good, but like to my parents it was like the biggest deal, so they called the cops and like made a report and everything, and like my
As
parents
they
took,
should.
yeah, and like they took pictures and everything, and then nothing happened. Like they went to court and everything for it, along with like other things that happened before that too, and like nothing happened to them. So we had to buy this like plastic cover for the pool, and we had to pull it on and pull it off every time we use the pool, which is really fucking annoying, by the way.
Oh, I know. I had to help you
It
take
was
it off a few
it was the
times.
it was the fucking worst. But like I mean, I guess it's better than getting stabbed with like a nail or a screw, but
True. But it was a
and
bitch to take off, and my sister would never help us, and it was you
I
and I.
know it was like heavy because it was like it looked like bubble wrap, but it was like thick as hell.
Yeah. Oh, oh.
So
I'm having flashbacks.
right, so great neighbors. And then they like eventually bought a creepy white old man van, and they would like I don't know if you were ever with us, but like they would follow us, like me and like my friends and like sometimes my brothers and stuff around when we had like our bikes and shit, or like if we went up to like the school, they would like circle and like do a bunch of like creepy Kyle shit, and it was fucking weird.
Okay, yeah, no. I remember because my fat ass did not ride my bike as much as I should have. I would not be as I am now if I had. But my sister and I rode our bikes from our house to your house,
Mm.
and we were gonna go swimming and then go to the park. And we ended up not being able to go swimming because they were home. So we went to the park, and we were just like,
Chilling.
yeah, we would just like, I don't know, I like play.
Right. I mean, I
Like
feel
it's
like all we did was just like sit and like swing, or like we just chilled.
Yeah, we would just go to the park and chill and like talk shit
Pretty much.
like about everyone. But we'd like go on the swings and like sit on the play place.
Mm.
Like we yeah. But like I just remember the swings being where it's at, or like we'd spin on the shit and like see who can get the dizziest. Like
Oh, heck yeah.
how oh um. But you know how they had two parking lots?
Yeah.
I remember us being in the big kids park, of the big kids playground,
Yeah.
and they came over there and they were just like sitting there watching us. Like they
Yeah.
parked
I
and
know.
they were sitting there watching us. I'm like blasting like really shitty music.
Uh-huh.
So we just like hopped on our bikes and went to the little kids, to the preschool part, um because it was in a different, like the other side of the building, and they had a different parking lot.
Mm.
And like not even 5 minutes of us being there, they were there.
Yup. See,
So
they were just.
we hopped on our bikes and we like sped to your house. And by the time we got off the school property and onto the sidewalk to your street, they were barreling down the street and like they were gonna hit us.
Yeah, dude, they were like, I'm psychotic. Like, seriously psychotic.
Yeah, we went to your house so fast. They followed us all the way to your house.
Mm-hmm.
They pulled in their driveway. We pulled our bikes over to the side of the house and just ran inside and stayed inside for the rest of the day. And then your dad ended up driving us home.
Yeah.
He drove us home twice.
Yep.
Um,
But like, they literally just like terrorized us. And
yeah, we did nothing to them.
right. And like, it was just so chaotic and crazy. And it was like every time my parents or like Jill like called the cops or the cops were called or anything, they always took the drug house side. So we just all came to an agreement that they were being paid off by the dad of the drug house. Kind of like, your story, because it's the same
Mm,
fucking cop.
yeah.
But so yeah, they would follow us and be fucking creepy and just stare at us and be like, and it's like the dad like didn't have a job or day job or whatever because he's a fucking, or anything. I think he did, and he was like a handyman or whatever, but he barely worked. So it was just
Because
like,
he was selling the
well,
drugs,
I know, but it's like, really, like, go tend to your fucking weed plants and leave me alone, you know?
right?
And then,
Why?
oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, like, why are you following little girls when they're trying to play at the park?
Right? Like, what the? But I know that they just did it so that, because they knew I would tell my parents, and, it would just get my parents' blood pressure up.
I'm just saying they're lucky that I never told my parents,
I know.
because my parents are always strapping,
Oh, they are.
and they don't give a fuck.
No, they
You
don't.
don't fuck with their kids.
Mm. And, but yeah, my parents don't stay strapped, so they did the best that they could. Like my dad literally, like, they would like, for real, not even joking in any way. My dad and the drug house dad would like fist fight on the front lawns for like a lot. Like, they just would go at each other all the fucking time because it was like that tense. And like,
Um,
it was just crazy.
I was unaware of this,
Yeah, it happened a
and
lot.
why was I never invited?
Well, that was when I was pretty young when that first started, and then it just became like it settled down after a little bit. But then another time, I remember my dad was outside grilling or something, and I'm pretty sure he was grilling, but I was like 7 or 8, and remember right next to the back door, there was like the two big windows that you could see the backyard.
Yes.
So I was like looking out those with like one of my brothers. So I heard my dad saying something, but I couldn't really make out what he was saying. So I was just like staring at a bird or something. But by what happened next, I'm just guessing that he was talking shit to like my neighbor because my dad is like really witty and like good at talking shit. And I'm not gonna say he's the worst fighter, but he's not like the best fighter because he's like a little guy. But he like pulls his weight for like a little guy. But so anyway, so my dad's like talking shit apparently to like one of the guys that was like helping them like deal the drugs and shit. And my dad's just like grilling, and this guy jumped our fence and literally knocked my dad right in the jaw with brass knuckles.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So I started screaming for my mom, and she's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Like, nobody's outside with your dad. Like, fucking psych, mom, go outside." So we go outside, and he's just like bleeding like everywhere from like his mouth and stuff. And so we took him inside and called the cops. And again, nothing fucking happened to them. And the guy that like punched my dad with the brass knuckles, like he just ran, like he took off. Yeah, he jumped our back gate and just like took off. And like we never saw him again at that house or anything.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and like it's weird because I thought it was um one of the neighbors that we were close with. I thought it was their uncle because he looked exactly like it. So I was telling my mom like um I was like, Uncle Kurt just punched dad in the face. Oh my god, mom, oh my god. And she's like, nobody is with, like, no one's there, like Uncle Kurt's not here. And then I was just like, okay, well, like, he's not there, like he's obviously on the floor, like. So then that's when we all like ran outside.
Bro.
And of course, you know, nothing happened because they were paying them, blah, blah, blah.
I feel like our podcast is going from like Karen tales to like corrupt cops.
I feel, well, because like it's literally the same cop. Like they were so.
I know.
But so eventually, after like 4 years of like dealing with chaos, my parents tried to get like a petition or whatever with like people's signatures and shit from like the
Mm-hmm.
block.
Yeah.
And everyone was like scared to sign it except for like us and my mom's BFF Jill across the street and her husband. And so my mom and dad like went to court and all this shit all the time. Like they were going to court at least like once a month because of them.
Yep.
And it was just like unreal. And I wish I could fit more of all the fucked up shit that they did into this episode, but I can't. But I will say one funny thing that me and one of my brothers used to do is that we would sit on um the house across the street. The garage was like flat. So we would take like our BB guns and like our airsoft guns and we would sit on, or we would like lay down on the garage, the top of the garage, and we would just hit every single person that came in and out of the house. And like we would get like their antenna, we would, and like get it to like it fell over, and like we just did like a bunch of funny shit just to like piss them off more.
Was this the oldest brother or the one that I'm friends with?
So it's the brother that is not blood related to me, but is more of a brother to me.
Jill's son?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, you should just said Jill's son.
Well, I didn't know. Yeah. I guess I could have just did that, but I always the hard way. So
I'm like, which brother? Because the one that I'm friends with, no offense to him if he's listening, that's not his style.
no, definitely not. But
He would send
definitely.
his bird out there to go shit all over the car.
Oh my god. And it was funny because like when I got older, like not older, but like when my parents would go up north a lot, and or like if me and my friends skipped school, we always went to my house. And
Yep.
because both my parents worked, so like we are like, all right, bet no one will be at my house. So all of our friends smoked cigarettes, so I literally told them to flick all the all their cigarette butts into their yard. They literally just like it pissed them off so fucking bad. I don't remember what they did to retaliate for that, but I do remember like randomly one day I went out there and my mom was like pissed because they must have like dumped or like pushed through like half of the cigarette butts back into our yard because it was on that side, but it wasn't like as much as there was on their side, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was like, "Oh my god, are you smoking?" I'm like, "No, it obviously it's from the neighbors. What the fuck are you talking?" Like, but it was just, we had some solid fun times with the retaliation, but also really terrible, awful times with their retaliation.
Do they still live there?
Okay, so no, so they moved when I was like 17 or 18, and then my parents moved like 4 years after they moved. So kind of like your story too.
Because I don't remember them being there for your graduation party.
I actually, yeah, they were, but I think they were like in the process of selling the house, so they weren't there all the time.
Oh, because I remember like we weren't allowed in the backyard. And I don't know. I feel I don't know. I just like I'm like remembering your graduation party,
Mm,
where because I had to drive, I did not drink at all
yeah,
and won a bunch of beer bong games.
you did. I do remember that.
I remember killing everyone, but I don't remember anything about like your mom or anyone saying anything about the neighbors because normally like even if there was a group of them, your mom would be like, "Hey, like beware of the neighbors."
Yeah. We constantly warned everybody that came over, like, hey, our neighbors are fucking psychos, so we're sorry if anything goes
Oh yeah, no, we did the same thing. You know this.
down. Yeah. Oh my god. I don't know why I just remember this, but okay, when I was younger, we had two ferrets that my oldest brother randomly just like brought home, and
How do
we
you
kept
just
them.
randomly bring
I
home
don't know.
ferrets? It's not like they're
Oh,
running on the street.
well, I don't really know. I'll have to ask him and then I can update y'all because I don't know how he just randomly came across two ferrets. But they
Where?
were so cute and we loved them. So my mom was like, "All right, we'll keep them." So in the summer, like in the winter, we kept them in the basement, and then because they smell really bad. And in the summer, we kept them in the garage. And like they got out of the cage somehow, and they had dogs next at the drug house next door.
Okay.
And so me and my brother, the one that you're friends with, we like went out to go like because we used to like take them out like and like play with them like in the grass and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I like we both were just like, oh my god, they got out. So like we're looking everywhere in our backyard and like in the garage. And then like my mom came home from work and he like the dad next door just like opened up his garbage can and just like showed us like our two like dead ferrets because the dog like chewed them up and like ate them.
What the fuck?
And my mom was like, why the fuck would you show my two kids that? And why the fuck wouldn't you just tell me? Like, why did you show me? And then, like, me and my brother were like crying because we were like, those were like our babies and we were like so sad. And like,
What were their names? I need to know these things.
so there was a blonde one named Cassie, and then like a brown one named Marley.
I I have so many questions. Like I've only seen like 3 ferrets in real life.
Really?
But like where are ferrets in the wild?
Honestly, I can't answer that because I really don't know.
Like these are questions I have. I need to Google these. But like listeners, if you have any information
Yeah,
on where the fuck you like ferrets
Ferris came
come
came
from,
from. Yeah,
uh,
let us know.
be, uh, my brain, I can't.
I know. But so pretty much that is like my tale. And they definitely did not win this war against the Karens. Shout out my mom and her BFF Jill. But they did Chad and Kyle really fucking hard, but they didn't win the war. So what I'm saying is this was a tale of a battle between the Karens versus the Kyles.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
And nobody really won.
Yeah, nobody really won because they just moved and then
You moved.
yeah, so but I do remember like when they put the for sale sign up on their front lawn, my mom literally made me go outside and like take a picture of it with like the disposable cameras and like we still have it like in a photo book. Like that's how big of a deal it was.
Can you find that picture, take a picture of it, and we can post it on the Instagram?
I can try, yeah.
Because oh my god.
I'll have to search, but I'll try.
If Lauren finds these pictures, we look out for our Instagram.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
That would be really funny.
oh, oh.
And I remember just like the pure joy on like my parents and like my mom's best friend or BFF Jill. Like they were just so happy and like I'm pretty sure we had a barbecue because it was that big of a deal.
Here I am salty because I did not go to that house. Like after your graduation, I hadn't been back to that house
Right.
because like we at that time we were like having the house fire and we were living in the
And I did just like randomly move right after I graduated. I moved up north and
yeah.
then was like, bye.
Then you moved back and had an apartment, and then you
Yeah.
moved back in with your parents, and then
And
they
then
moved.
yeah, it was and then I like lived with a different boyfriend at his house for like 3 years and now I'm back home, guys.
Oh,
But yeah, it was a wild time. It was a good time, but a wild time.
oh. So be nice to your fucking neighbors, okay? Can
I
we talk about
know.
that?
And like yeah, and like make sure you like check. I don't know if like this is a thing, but like I know when I was looking at houses at one point, I was like going next door and being like, hey, I'm thinking about buying this house next door. And I just wanted to introduce myself and say hello. And like, if they were like bitchy, I would like reconsider. You know what I mean?
Oh, this is what you do. You drive, like, you don't drive through, like, actually go through during the week, okay? Because this is
Mm-hmm.
what my parents did every time they look for houses. They would drive around like during the week and see like what it's like. They would drive on Sunday because like everyone's home on the weekend on Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and drive at night, like between like 6 to 8,
Mm-hmm.
because everyone's home, and
Right.
you can see like people getting home, people doing like whatever, and see like what kind of neighbors you're gonna have and like what the neighborhood's like at that time at night and
Yeah.
shit. um Saved us from some, because we found some nice ass houses, but and like it looked great at the daytime, but at nighttime it was shady as
Like
fuck.
it's
No, not
spooky.
even spooky, because like we found this bomb ass house um that we were going to move into instead of the one from my last story that caught on fire. We are going to move into a different one, and my parents drove down the street at night, and like there was people like outside selling drugs and like being super shady and like doing
Yeah.
some shady shit. So we ended up not moving over there. And guess what? We found out that that was the area that people were selling drugs at and like getting in trouble for
Mm.
selling drugs in that area.
Mm. Well, good call, parents.
Then years later, people were selling drugs on our street, whatever.
Right. But like, yeah, can we normalize being a good fucking neighbor and like a good fucking person
On
to your neighbors?
your
Because what the fuck?
your best thing to do is to move to the country where you don't have neighbors.
I know, but like, I want like some dope ass neighbors when I move. Like, I want to have some dope ass barbecues with my fucking neighbors. You know, like how my mom and her BFF Jill every Friday, like, still every Friday, they like, my mom goes over to Jill's house and they like have like little like apps and they have like drinks and they just like chill. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I want some dope ass fucking neighbors.
I feel that. We have one neighbor across the street, and like we barely talk to them. Like we
Right.
know them. They come into my parents' restaurant, but like
But you guys are like country.
we are like country. They are our only neighbors, unless you like get in the car and drive down the road.
Yeah.
And then on the other,
But oh, go
oh
ahead.
well, the other side of us is just like cornfields.
Yeah.
We don't have
And then
backyard neighbors because it's just cornfields.
literally fields.
On the other side of us, it's cornfields. Across the street is our neighbor, and then next to them is an apple orchard.
Yeah. True.
So
you country.
I don't got to be nice to nobody. Well, those are our tales for this week. It's time for them ballin' buddies.
All right, who you got?
The freaking older gentleman who told this bitch to fucking relax
Yes.
because we don't like it wasn't working. Sorry. Everyone needs
Shout out.
gas. Like he told her what's up. She was salty about it. He winked at me and waved. So
Shout out to that king.
yes. Thank you, sir. Kind sir. Gently
Bless.
man.
Bless forever.
Who I'm like, who's your
I know.
ball buddy?
So my ball and Betty, honestly, like I'm gonna have to say my dad because he had to put up with my mom and her BFF Jill and their shitty attitudes, also while dealing with two like younger children and then my other brothers and the neighbor kids and the shitty chaotic fucking neighbors. And so he's my ballin' Bob of the week.
I mean, and he got his shit rocked.
Yeah, he did. And he also like stuck up for the fam, you know, a lot.
Yeah.
So
Your dad is the nicest man I've ever met.
right, I know. He's so chill and nice. I love my dad.
I was gonna say you're like I'm calling a ball and Betty on your street. Or for your story too.
Okay.
Everyone on your street except for your shitty neighbors, like even like your mom and her BFF Jill. Fuck, we're ball and buddies too because we had to deal with that. Like,
true,
bitch, we were getting like he followed us,
and like it was, and it like wasn't just when I was like with you guys. It would be my brother. They would follow my brothers too, and like it was just so fucking creepy and like, ugh, I don't even know.
No, yeah. So, like,
shout out to all of us.
Yeah, for surviving this.
Yeah, but mainly my dad because he had to put up with a fucking lot.
Yeah, and he got his shit wrecked.
Yeah, he did.
So
with brass knuckles.
Oh, yeah. So shout out to Lauren's dad for being a baddie.
Yes, he is.
Does he listen to the podcast?
Sometimes he said he did one time. I don't know if he's like a continuing listener, but maybe I'll tell him to listen to this one.
Okay, well, Lauren's dad, if you listen to this, I know your name, but we're not doing names on here. And I don't want to say like your last name,
Right.
but like, thank you for always being like the chillest dude from the when I was 14 to I saw you what a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
um to a year ago, like so fucking cool, the coolest fucking dad ever.
He is.
Yeah, the coolest.
He's just so chill and nice that, like, how could you not like my dad?
Yeah, well, other people's dads always make me very uncomfortable, and your dad was always just like, hey,
Hey.
how you guys doing?
Right.
Like,
He's
what's
like
up?
he's a little some people think he's a little awkward, but I feel
Okay,
like
but
we're
that's
all
cool.
awkward. Yeah.
I have like the worst, so like I'm so socially awkward.
Same.
That's why I'm like I'm able to be friends with your brother.
Right.
It's like we're both really awkward,
Mhm.
but then like we're awkward together, but then we're still friends.
Yeah. It's a good bond.
Yeah. So, whatever. Love your dad, greatest, one of
Mm.
the best humans I've ever met.
Love you, Dad, if you're listening. You did
Yes,
great.
you did great. Love you too.
Sorry
You
for
raised great kids.
right. Sorry for saying that you got knocked out with brass knuckles, but it happened.
Ugh. Yes, I'm so sorry. I said you got your shit rocked
Right. It's okay.
multiple times.
Right.
But
Uh
like we want people to know the severity of the story.
right. So it was a needed detail.
Yes. Oh, so Lauren,
Yeah.
that that is the end of our podcast today.
Yeah, it sure is.
Right. So thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to review and subscribe. Leave us office memes on our Facebook page. If you want us to read your stories, send them to us. You can email them to us. Our email is in the bio, or you can DM us on Instagram or Facebook,
Mm-hmm. And
Twitter.
oh yeah, or Twitter or
Yeah.
TikTok, because we're
Or
on everything now, guys.
yeah, we have all of the apps.
We're doing it.
Yeah. If you're cool enough to have Clubhouse, we both have one of those.
We do. Oh, we should do one. But
Um,
remember, in a world full of Karens and Kyles, be a fucking Betty, guys and gals and everyone
a
else.
yes.
Hey.
Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and review on iTunes or Apple.
Yeah, Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, Apple's the only one you can review on. So leave us a review. Let us know how we're doing, what we can do better, how much you love us. We would really appreciate it. If you want us to read your story, email us. The link is in our bio, or DM us on Instagram. Lauren, drop those links.
All right, guys, our Instagram is at excuse me Karen podcast, and our TikTok is the same. So follow us, DM us your story. We'd love to read them on here, and we would just love to read them in general.
Yes, please send us stories. We have a few, but we're waiting for more before we roll them all out.
Yes. All right. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye. All right, I'm gonna end it and then re-invite you.
Okay, bye.